Let's sort everything out now with Daily Telegraph columnist and blogger Tim Blair and also Mark Nicholson from Stepmate Studios. Thanks for joining us again, guys. I know we're all interested in saving the planet now and reducing emissions and changing the climate of the world, and people have been arguing about whether you do that with renewables or nuclear energy, but some protesters in England have showed us we're all wrong. This is how you change the climate. That ought to do it, Tim. Better spray over Stonehenge and Bob's your uncle.
Well, until recently, I thought that the main cause of grief for the climate processes was great works of art. Turns out it was Stonehenge all along. We should have known it was Stonehenge. What on earth will be next? What are they going to go after next? That's one of the oldest human created formations. We get attacks on that art in Australia. That would be the outcome of that would be fascinating, wouldn't it? I think. If you wanted to unite Australia
in fury against these idiotic protesters, go after some ancient Aboriginal art and see how well that travels. That'd be fascinating.
I've never been to Stonehenge, and I thought Spinal Tap made it ridiculously small, but Mark, it's actually not that big anyway. They didn't have to waste too much spray at all.
I've never been as well, mate, and I think some of these protesters, if they're really upset about emissions, like they've just gone ahead and just sprayed a whole bunch of CO2 with the propellant, with whatever's in that spray paint.
Yep.
There's the petrol and the emissions from the divvy van that took them there, and the divvy van that took them to the prison cell. And if they really cared about emissions, you've got to look at China, who are putting up a new coal-fired power plant every 5 minutes and taking on all of the world's emissions. But I don't think they're going to vandalise the Great Wall of China, I don't think, because it won't be prison, it'll be the bloody death penalty that they'll get.
Yeah, no, they should take their spray to Tiananmen Square. That'll work a treat. Let's hear from the protesters.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear their arguments.
My name's Neve, I'm 21 and I'm a student at the University of Oxford. Today I'm taking action with Just Stop Oil to demand that the UK government commits to signing the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty and promises to stop burning fossil fuels by 2030. To refuse to do so is to warrant death, destruction and suffering on an absolutely immense and immeasurable scale.
And Tim, she goes to Oxford University and she whispers because if she speaks too loudly, too much CO2 will come from her mouth.
Are we sure it's a she? I thought that was like Harry Potter's criminally malnourished younger brother or something. It was interesting that she or he or they had to specify their age, because I don't think anyone would have picked 21 out of any available list. That's a little bit astonishing, isn't it? When you have people like that at the forefront of fairly invasive and often violent protest movement, they're not exactly putting their strongest troops forward, are they, mate?
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked University of Oxford either. I would have said more UNSW or UPS or something. The thing is, when you listen to the crazy nonsense that these protesters spout, then let's listen again to the Climate Council, who try to be a body of some sort of importance in this country, and they spout stuff that's just as nutty. Have a listen to this.
Their policy is just let it burn. Let the bushfires, the mega fires burn. Let the floods flood. Let the heat become unbearable. Let the climate crisis ruin the future for our kids.
This is the Climate Council, Mark. This is the mob that Tim Flannery used to head, that used to be taxpayer funded. I mean, they're just literally nuts.
And, it's the tone. Even I can't actually see the footage for the first time from doing one of these crosses, but I can't actually see the footage, but I can already tell that they've got the, the eye roll tone to them as well. But I've lived through acid rain, holes in the ozone layer, like it's all burning crimson, everything's going to die, everything's going to destroy, but like none of it's ever, like we've never got like just a normal chat, just get some, education, bring out some facts. It's all just doom and gloom. And it's not resonating anymore. And so they throw the toys out the cot. That's the next available option. It's ridiculous.
All right, so we have a serious policy debate in Australia now about going to nuclear energy. Now, this is not such a step into the unknown. I mean, it's only China, Japan, Korea, France, the UK, Finland, the US, Canada. Every developed nation is running this power. But somehow it's a great leap into the unknown. But so difficult is it for Labor to actually run a sensible, intelligent critique of this, Tim, that they're running these three-eyed fish and three-eyed koalas. I mean, what does this say about the nature of their criticism?
They're running Simpsons jokes that were from the previous century.
Yes.
That's where they're at. Like, seriously, they're that bad. They're running jokes from when The Simpsons was funny. It hasn't been funny for a long time. Oh, look, there's poor Blinky Bill. He's become all triple-eyed. The thing is, if they're that concerned about Australians being mutated by nuclear energy, why aren't they getting Brittany Higgins out of harm's way? She's only 90 minutes away from a nuclear facility in France.
Yeah. Well,
It's terrible. Like, get the embassy involved, please.
Well, exactly, Mark. We're sending the nation's greatest athletes to France next month. They're going to be all running around powered only by nuclear energy, running around nuclear power stations. How can we put our athletes at such peril?
Yeah, that's right. They won't be given high fives, Chris. They'll be doing high sevens because they'll all be genetically mutated from all the nuclear energy that's there. It's a sad time, the Olympics in France.
Now, I've got to show you, Tim, things you can see this. This is tomorrow's cartoon in The Australian from our great mate, Johannes Leek. And he's got Peter Dutton with his nuclear plan saying we're an innovative, ambitious nation. This shouldn't be beyond us. And Albo's got a sign up saying it's all too hard. What's the matter with you, man? Where's your can't-do spirit?
Oh man, that's a lovely bookend to this segment because in your previous interview with Pauline Hanson, you ran Mark's brilliant line about they're bashing Bluey, which has had me laughing all week. And and now we ended with that one. It's a terrific way to bring the circle at full completion. We're living in a crazy age, and it's good fun to be able to chat with you guys about it. That's for sure.
It's a great campaign slogan for Albanese, isn't it? We're too dumb. As a nation, we're too dumb to do nuclear. Vote for Labor. We reckon you're too dumb to handle this. It's just insane. But
you're too stupid.
That's it. Now, let's go. When you think how stupid our politics are, then it's hard to think that the Great Republic is even more stupid. But we've got to have a look and go to the US and look at the latest with Joe Biden and Donald Trump. We'll go to Joe Biden first and just have a look at this footage of him struggling to get into the limo, and a few people have suggested this shows how unfit he is for office. And look, he does take a long while to get up into the Chevy there. But, to be honest, Mark, I'll forgive him this. The bloke's in his 80s. We don't expect him to be particularly nimble and agile. I don't want to pick on him for his age. The problem is he's mentally not up to it. Many 83-year-olds are, but he's not.
I think you're right. I think you've nailed it on the head. It is mutually exclusive. I think there are times when we're just laying the boot in unnecessarily. Like he is definitely an old man, but he's probably not fit to be presiding over the government of America. It's pretty ridiculous. But the degradation is so intense. You're seeing it more and more. Like I remember when Joe first started, like he was pretty old, but he was doing the arm swings as he was running to make it look like jogging Joe. Yeah. He doesn't do that anymore. Like it's pretty sad. It's only been 4 years, but I reckon it feels like more like 18 on Joe. It's sad. That's the thing. It's just sad at this point. Might be
about 18 in Biden years. I've got to show you a little bit. Now, of course, the debate's only about a week away, just over a week away. And I've got to show you this outrageous preview of the debate from Donald Trump. Have a look.
Is anybody going to watch the debate? He's going to be so pumped up. He's going to be pumped up. You know all that stuff that was missing about a month ago from the White House? What happened? Who left it? Somebody left it there. I wonder, let's see, somebody left a laptop in an office of a gentleman who was supposed to fix the laptop from hell. He never picked it up, and somebody didn't pick up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cocaine. I wonder who that could have been. I don't know. Actually, I think it was Joe.
Now we know they rest Biden up for the big events and somehow they get him up for it. But he's really suggesting he's going to be getting into Hunter's cocaine stash.
Well, he's obviously got to do something. It's a needs-must situation for old Joe. Here's the incredible thing, though. American late-night TV presenters used to mock the president of the day routinely, but they're so now locked into defending Joe Biden that it's left this whole wing of attack open to Donald Trump. He's actually performing the stand-up, the comedy role, the routines that used to be delivered, by Letterman and by Leno and all these other people, Johnny Carson going way back, and now he has the floor and he's delivering better lines. It's really, not, I'm not suggesting that lines.
It's a great point.
But still, his routines are definitely better.
You are so right. Those comics and the media now are spending all their time trying to defend Joe Biden. I'm going to dig some of that out and show it next week. Appreciate your time, gentlemen. Love talking to you. Catch up with you next week. Mark Nicholson and Tim Blair there taking us